Trailer for Zack Snyder's Justice League is here. The sneak peek includes never-before-seen shots of Ray Fisher's Cyborg, looking sad, and Connie Nielsen's Hippolyta. It also has a fresh shot of the iconic DC Comics villain Darkseid raising his arms while surrounded by apocalyptian priests. It was also in black and white, which Zack Snyder went on to say on Twitter his ideal version would be released in black and white on IMAX. He goes to say, to me, that is the most fan-centric, most pure, most Justice League experience, because that's how I lived with that movie for 2 years in black and white. When I do the live stream of the trailer, Steph and I colored a lot of black and white version of the trailer. Did we get enough? We can do a little trailer truth or trash here. Did we get enough out of this trailer to think this is going to be actually a new movie? Or is this basically just going to be the same movie we saw again? I had people on Twitter, telling me, no, this has 2 and 3 hours of new footage. This is a completely different film. I'm kind of feeling like it's going to be the same thing we saw, just with a Zack Snyderian touch on it.
So you're not going to watch it?
I'm not going to watch it because there's nothing else on.
What does it matter?
There's nothing else on. That's the George Costanza line. Why is this on TV? Or why am I watching this? Because it's on TV. Not yet, it's not. That's classic Seinfeld, by the way. What do you think? Do you think we're getting a new film? I mean, does this now at this point, you've seen 2 trailers? Does the footage we've seen in these trailers kind of make you believe we are getting a completely different film?
No. Look, there's every piece of footage I've seen in the trailer is something I hadn't seen in the original movie. So a lot of it is different.
Yeah.
I do not think that Zack Snyder's visual style works really well with Joss Whedon's sensibilities. So I think once you have Zack Snyder's visuals with Zack Snyder's storytelling senses, not to say that one would be superior to the other, but I think the film itself would be less jarring than the original Justice League. And that alone is interesting enough.
Talk about flashbacks, right? Like that was just a hot mess. The more and more I have not rewatched Justice League since I saw it in the theaters. The more and more I recollect, you know how our brain kind of works, kind of puts pieces together, and I just remember like a lot of Superman smiling. And then remembering he had a mustache there because they reshot all that. Took out his mustache. I remember the super stash the most. That's my big takeaway. But it's still, I don't know, it had all the same elements though, right? Superman gets resurrected. The only thing that's different here is Darkseid, I guess, right? We didn't get to see Darkseid originally.
We don't know what's different.
I'm saying in the trailer, what we've seen so far, the only thing that we haven't
Everything in that trailer is pretty much different from what you saw in the Justice League movie, though. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I don't understand quite what you're saying, but I get that I get what you're doing, and I appreciate it, but I just don't. I mean, it's more content. It's fascinating, as I told you before we started shooting. This is unprecedented, So like a director who's been fired from a project gets to come back to the project and then gets like full financial backing to be able to retool the project and gets the support of a lot of the fans who claim that they want it. Now, naturally those fans will complain when they get it because that's just the nature of the beast. I mean, we are in uncharted territory, so
release the Snyder Cut of the Snyder Cut will be the hashtag that we get when it all is said and done. All right, let us know what you think. Are we getting a totally different movie? Trailer truth or trash that based off of the 2 trailers we've seen now. The second trailer really didn't. The reason I bring it up though, before we go to break, the second trailer really just basically was the same trailer. There was a couple different things. So now I'm kind of thinking to myself, as we've seen in other trailers, did he front load everything in the trailer? I mean, have we basically seen all the new stuff that we're going to see by the time the movie actually comes out? And it's just basically gonna be the same stuff, same movie with this extra stuff that we've now seen in the trailer. I don't know what other surprises he's going to give us that's really going to make it. I agree with you. His style is different. I agree. Like, it is a divergence of what Joss Whedon brought. Ultimately, it's going to be a different feeling film, right? The feeling you get from it, the slow motion angles and the choice of sound and music, things like that are going to be different. But ultimately, I feel like I'm going to walk away from this with the exception of not having seen a race between Superman and Flash and being like, it's pretty much the same thing.
Let me ask you a question. Like, why wouldn't you just be interested to see it? And why would you speculate on how you're going to feel about it once you've seen it? I don't get that logic.
I think it's just because that was my initial reaction to seeing this trailer. So I'm actually just giving you my raw reaction to the second trailer, to where I'm kind of like,
I get that, but I mean, it seems like you would say it doesn't look like anything new to me. I'm interested to see if there's anything new in it.
Yes.
As opposed to, I think I'm going to walk away from this thinking I didn't see anything new. That's a completely different level of fatalism, So
yes, mine is more absolute. My prediction, should go wrong, is more absolute. I agree with you. But that was my initial take. I kind of looked at it going, I feel like I get that.
But see, this is the thing. I can relate with you on the sense of, I just watched this trailer. I don't think I saw anything new in the trailer. I get that.
Yeah.
But I don't think this movie's going to be new because I didn't see anything new in the trailer. All right, we don't know that. We know how much is being spent on it. We know it's being made a major production. We know it's taken him from, when did they announce it? Maybe August or before that? Until 2021 in order for us to be able to get our hands on it, right? Yeah. So obviously they're going to do something to it. It's going to be redone to some extent. They're spending a crap ton of money on it.
Yeah.
Now, is it going to be just as bad as Justice League? Who knows? But I mean, it is going to be a different experience, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's going to be even if you change the music and you change the color and you change some of the shots, the timing of some of the shots, the movie we already got would be a completely different movie. So I mean, once you're doing that and the original visionary is on it, making the choices that he might have originally made, I'm sure it's going to be a different experience. Is it going to be a good movie or a bad movie? Are we going to like it or are we not going to like it? That's what remains to be seen. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a different experience.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you get... And look, yes, there's, no matter what, I agree with you. You're going to have a different experience, right? There's no other way around it. It is going to be a different film. To what degree do I feel it's going to be a different film? Was your experience watching, George Lucas's special edition of Star Wars significantly different than in your mind? And I'm just asking, what did you think of the special edition of Lucas of Star Wars versus watching the original? Did you think there was to such a large degree of difference? Because I remember coming out of that movie going, all right, it was cool. We saw some bad CGI Jabba, but otherwise felt like the same movie. And my thought after seeing the second trailer is, I'm figuring that's going to be my kind of reaction. I could be wrong. There's nothing wrong with being wrong about that. Was your take on the Star Wars redone significantly different, and apply that feeling to this one, do you think?
I don't think it applies because, I mean, we basically knew it was just going to be Star Wars with a bunch of new scenes in it. We weren't told it was going to be a completely different movie.
Yeah.
With a completely different vision for it. So like it was a delight to watch those movies from a perspective of someone who is not a purist who just, needs every movie to be exactly the same experience over and over again for nostalgia purposes, which I wasn't. I went there interested in seeing something that I hadn't seen before, or something that would enhance it.
Right.
I mean, it was based on like, okay, some of these scenes are different. Some of these scenes are changed. There's more people. There's more population than this and that. Some of those changes were good. Some of those changes were not so good. Right.
Yep.
But ultimately, they were enjoyable. I do enjoy watching mostly the special edition more than the originals now, just for the sake of argument. So, that's apples and oranges right there, because this one is being promised a completely different movie, right?
Yeah.
And so we have no idea what to go into. Also, I enjoyed the freaking originals of Star Wars, so I didn't mind sitting down and watch it again. Now, I did not enjoy Justice League.
I know.
So that will be a different experience. So if I come away from Justice League just remotely pleased with what I saw, that would be a big improvement on how I felt.
Well, that's actually interesting you say that, right? Because I was just about to say the amount of pressure on this almost ultimately is destined to bring this experience down, because the amount of buildup going into it. However,
that's why you don't build anything up. I don't understand why people. It's just a film. It's gonna be like 2 hours of your time that you're gonna watch, and you're gonna have an experience, and then after that is over, everything in your life is gonna be exactly the same.
Totally,
you're still gonna be in quarantine. You're still gonna be stuck.
I'm never gonna look at sad Cyborg ever again the same way. It's just not.
That's your choice.
It's very sad.
Make better choices.
What do you guys think? Truth or trash? It's going to be the same film that we saw the first time, or to what degree will it be the same film? Is all this hype going to do it based off the trailers you've seen? Let us know in the comments feed. When we come back, we talk Mandalorian Chapter 11, a Clone Wars character makes its reappearance.